We're going to be going over today how to get more out of your anti-aging and longevity supplements and routine. All right, here we go. So by now, you probably heard about great products such as Nicotinamide Riboside or Nicotinamide Mononucleotide and trying to make more NAD. We'll talk about that in a moment. You might have heard about transresveratrol. You might have heard about a lot of these great anti-aging based nutrients. But what you may not have heard of is that they don't always work as well as you would like them to in a silo or a vacuum just by themselves. One thing I want to share with you is that NMN has really been talked about now for about a decade or so. Now it's been around for longer than that, but that's when it started to really become more popular. The problem is that it was always recommended as first NAD, and then they realized, that was not very absorbable by the gut. And so they started then recommending NR, nicotinamide riboside, or nicotinamide mononucleotide. So both of those are fantastic. Both are very well absorbed and they can work great. The problem is they realized then few years later that it started to deplete what are called methyl donors. Those are nutrients that your body needs, like trimethylglycine, TMG, or methylcobalamin or methylfolate, the methyl-based donors that enable the body to actually move through the Krebs cycle, ATP cycle, energy-based cycle. So I'm not going to go through all of them today, but I want to go through a few of them that will dramatically improve the use of an NR, nicotinamide riboside, or NMN. And I know so many people are using those that I wanted to do a show specifically on them. Because although they're great products and you can use anywhere from 125 milligrams to about 400 to 500 milligrams. I know some people are using a gram or 2 grams a day. I don't know that I would jump that quickly into using that high a dosage. Remember, everything you put in your body can deplete something else. I'm more an advocate of using synergies, and I'm more of a 125 to maybe 300 milligrams per day of an NR, NMN. I've seen just as good results with that. I think that you don't want to overload any one supplement. You want to use them as an adjunct, literally as a supplement to a healthy diet. The problem is a healthy diet, as you're getting older, is not going to supply you with the NMN and NR levels that you need. So let me just cut right to the chase. I want to share with you a few of the nutrients that we use in our practice and why I find them particularly effective. So the first one is one that we've been using for a long time for anti-aging. And that one is in the same category that we use for Th2 immune system dominance to help with, it's called the zinc ionophore, so it helps get zinc into the tissues. It's great antiviral. It's good for, I think, allergies. I've probably said that before, but it's called quercetin. So there's a few others in the family, quercetin, rutin, and just a couple others, but these are particular flavonoids. And these flavonoids are so crucial to being able to increase an enzyme called NAMPT, which improves NAD production. Because ultimately, when you're taking NMN or you're taking NR, ultimately what you're looking to do is boost NAD. That's why we're taking these particular products, right? And so quercetin helps with what's called the NAD salvage pathway. So that's going to allow for more of the uptake of actual NAD. So this is going to give you then what? The energy levels, the brain clarity, the healing, the vitality that you're looking for with producing more energy in the mitochondria. All right. So that's the first one. The second one is one I've been using now for about 20 years, and that's alpha lipoic acid. And I use this on my own. Again, I can't provide you any medical advice, medical treatment plans, medical cures, medical diagnosis. I have to give you that. But when I had diagnosed type 2 diabetes, I failed the glucose tolerance test when I was 19 years old. I started taking alpha lipoic acid. And I started using that because I was reading research, even when this is back in undergrad. And I realized that in Europe, they were using alpha lipoic acid for type 2 diabetes. So I said, great, well, if it's good enough for all the doctors in Europe to be using this, I'm going to use it myself instead of being on a medication for this. So I started using alpha lipoic acid. Not only is it great at helping with balancing blood sugar, and again, I'm not telling you to use this for type 2 diabetes. I'm just sharing with you some of the literature. What I do want to share with you is this. It's also a very powerful antioxidant. It also helps with detoxification, and it is an activator of cellular energy sensors, referring to AMPK. Why does this matter? Okay, so if we look at a scale, we have the body's ability to build up tissue, mTOR, or on the other side, break down old, worn-out cells. That's more AMPK and autophagy. So why I like this is when you're also moving more towards a higher AMPK, AMP kinase, you're going to be producing likely more NAD. So big fan of ALA for helping balance healthy levels of blood sugar, to help with overall inflammation, to help with detoxification, to help with NAD based production. So big fan of that. Okay. The next one is going to be zinc. I have been using zinc for 20 years. And the reason is that anybody who runs a little bit more catabolic, anybody that has allergies or they're more dealing with viral-based issues, immune-based issues, giving them a little bit more vitamin D, again, not providing medical advice, can dramatically help the immune system, the gut, tissue repair, and so much more. So I'm not a mega dose nutritional supplement advocate. I'm not. But most people can do anywhere between 25 and 50 milligrams of zinc on a daily basis. So we're a big advocate of using zinc with any longevity anti-aging based product where you are looking to repair tissue and boost the strength and vitality of the body. Okay, and also obviously the immune system. The next one, simple one, vitamin C. So vitamin C, inexpensive supplement. We use a product called Full Spectrum Vitamin C, which is both the functional medicine formula and food-based. So you get the best of both worlds. Great product. I think most adults need 2 to 3 grams of vitamin C per day. You might get away with 1 gram, but likely need between 1 and 3 grams, we'll put it that way. Especially people who strength train, they exercise, or they might be a little bit more depleted because they're on a lower carb diet. They're on doing a longer intermittent fast, which is great. It can be great for the body, but what happens is you might be under a little bit more stress. Because that's what happens when you do longer intermittent fasting. It's a greater stress in the body. You can create more free radicals. Again, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but it's taxing. And so vitamin C, what does it do? Well, vitamin C helps with, when you're creating NAD, a lot of people, again, overlook this. There's a lot of enzymatic transformations that are happening, all of which creates free radicals. And there's a redox-based process of helping to squelch these free radicals and these missing electrons in the body in order to squelch inflammation as well. Vitamin C is a simple supplement that makes every other product essentially that much better. So it enhances vitamin E, it enhances glutathione, it improves both phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification. Really powerful for the body. You don't need to go overboard with any of these, but very, very powerful. Let me give you 3 food-based ones. So one is, this is a product, you can call it a supplement, but it's green tea. And I've talked about it before, and I've told you the most powerful form is the green tea extract, ECGC. Now, you can take it as a supplement, but you can also take it, meaning as an extract, you can also take it and get a powerful dose as matcha green tea. So if you don't want to use, again, all supplements, that's the funny thing. People, some people are against supplements, but they're willing to do teas and herbs and coffee and all those things. Well, they're supplements as well. Like we always want to use these things to our advantage and not saying, I'm all against something or I'm all for something. Okay. So I think it's really important because I'm not for every supplement in the world, right? But I'm also not against them. And I'm not for every food or diet in the world, but I'm also not against them. Like there's a time and place. But matcha green tea is ground up green tea leaves, especially if you go with the organic ceremonial grade, that is very powerful in the flavonoids, again, antioxidants, which are unbelievably powerful, and also contains something called apigenin. And the reason why, I'm an advocate of apigenin. It's not that I'm not, but it's not something that I would supplement with on a daily basis. And I'll be talking about that on a future podcast. There's a few of them out there that I'm not ready. Fisetin is one that I'm more looking into pulsing once, twice a month for a period of time rather than every day. But green tea doesn't have a mega dose of that. So you can actually have green tea on a daily basis, 1 to 3 cups per day, and get a lot of those benefits. So a huge fan And then, of course, the apigenin in that has been clinically shown to inhibit a protein called CD38 that increases in our cells as we age, and it degrades our NAD that much faster. So something like green tea can actually help with longevity in that way. Okay, that also at the same rate refers to parsley. So parsley actually is a greater form of apigenin, and apigenin, at the same time, as I said before, helps NAD production in a way that it does not allow it to degrade as quickly or inhibit it. So that's the big benefit of adding parsley just to dinner at night. Like, you can literally add parsley to pretty much any dinner. And how much do you need? Just get a tablespoon worth, and you can tear it up into little bits, shred it into little bits, put it over your meal. You've got a nice heavy metal chelator, and you've got a great thing to help with longevity. So reiterating on that green tea is more for the EGCG to inhibit the enzyme called NNMT that also does not allow for the recycling of NAD. And parsley is its partner, which you don't have to take, but it also helps with not allowing the degradation of NAD through the protein CD38. All right, the last one I want to share with you is this. And this is an easy one to get as well and often overlooked. So by using black pepper with even just one meal per day, or maybe the meal you're taking your NR, nicotinamide riboside, or NMN with, you're going to enable better uptake in the intestines if you don't want to use a product called BioPerine. I have a whole podcast on BioPerine. Again, when people on, and they mean no harm, but when people tell you that BioPerine or these things are bad for you because here's what it showed in lab rats, you have to actually go back and look at the study. And I've done this because they've been using BioPerine, which is just black pepper fruit, for thousands of years. I mean, they talk about Ayurvedic medicine from 6,000 years ago. And there's a lot of history to be able to go over whether this is bad or not. Here's the issue. When you give mice essentially the equivalent to your leg worth of black pepper, like literally, I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit tongue in cheek, but nobody would sit down to a meal for the most part and have 3 tablespoons of black pepper. So when we're talking about BioPerine, we're talking about a small black pepper extract for better absorption. If for whatever reason you feel, I feel more comfortable using black pepper, well, then you just get a black pepper shaker and you'd put that on the meal where you're going to be consuming the NR or NMN. Now, it won't work as well as BioPerine, but by all means, it will absolutely help with the uptake from the small intestine of these particular nutrients. It's also pretty good with helping with circulation and overall thermogenesis in the body. So just a quick recap, what I'm recommending is quercetin, amazing nutritional supplement, nutraceutical, alpha lipoic acid, and I'm recommending zinc and vitamin C, essentially as additional supplements. Food-based, they can be taken as supplements, would be the black pepper. It'd be the EGCG or green tea extract or simply matcha tea, as well as parsley. And parsley I get just with the meals that I'm taking. All of these will greatly enhance your NR or NMN to create more NAD. That means you'll need to use less of the nutritional supplement and actually get more benefits, and I would say even more so the way that nature intended it. And that is because you don't need a megadose of one particular nutrient that could deplete your methyl donors, and instead you're taking a smaller amount in, but you're using the majority of what you do take in. So hopefully this was helpful. This was a reader question, so please do let me know. Any other questions, leave them in the comments. I am happy to do additional shows and follow up on how to best maximize your nutritional supplement utilization. Take care, everybody. Feel free to share the show with anyone you believe it could serve. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.